I think this generation, apart from being audacious in their expression, they also have a deep need for love and care. And the one thing I think I wish parents would know is that our Gen Zs are really desperate to do right. 99% of those I've taught are young people who they want to do the right thing. They really do. And some of them need another chance. They need a second chance.
What makes ADMI stand out from other schools?
So what makes ADMI different? I think number one is our psychosocial support for our students. We are very passionate about supporting our students, and we have an in-house counselor that's available to them and for free. We also have very robust mental health advocacy. Actually, I was part of the team that started this years ago, whereby we ensure every semester we have something that empowers our students in taking care of their mental health. In the times we're living in, many of our young people are struggling, not just creatives, but many are struggling. And so we work with our students. As long as they let us, we will work with them. I think that's one thing that makes ADMI very special. The other thing, of course, is our Career Launchpad program, that we don't just take it for granted that once these guys get the technical skills, they'll be able to go and excel. We make sure that we intentionally help them to cultivate soft skills, that when they got into the workplace, they're equipped, they're ready for work. And once they're there, we also support them through our placement office and, of course, with the Career Launchpad team to ensure that when they're there, they also succeed. We also are passionate about our alumni. We do engage with them from time to time. We are available for them as well. And the other thing I think I'd want you to note about ADMI is that the lecturer in the classroom often is somebody that's also in the industry, doing the very thing they're teaching these students to go and do. So whatever they learn is something that's cutting edge, it's something that is relevant today. I think that's a beautiful thing that you will find here at ADMI. Of note is that one of the things I love, two of my female colleagues were nominated for Women in Film Awards just very recently. Those ladies are available to these students in a classroom. I think that is something quite special. Yeah.
So what's your favorite place on campus?
My favorite place on campus, I think it's the classroom.
What's your favorite moment in the classroom?
My favorite moment in the classroom is when I see a student begin to have the confidence to share from their own experience, especially when it's in line with something we've discussed. That moment when I see them bold, open, and also when I see the compassion and support from their colleagues in the classroom, that's a very special moment for me. Yeah.
What is something parents or students don't see that probably they should?
Parents don't see? Okay. I think it's twofold. Parents don't see or students don't see. Let me start with parents. I talk about it in two ways. One, our young people, there's a lot of talk about Gen Zs, and yes, indeed, I think they're very different in their expression. We've all been young, so there's no one who's born an elder. And there's what people call the foolishness of youth, and that comes in different shades depending on the generation. I think this generation, apart from being audacious in their expression, they also have a deep need for love and care. And the one thing I think I wish parents would know is that our Gen Zs are really desperate to do right. 99% of those I've taught are young people who they want to do the right thing. They really do. And some of them need another chance. They need a second chance. And some are struggling because they are growing up in a very different world from the one we grew in. But given the love, the support, and the discipline, the tough love, they will be okay. they will be okay. So that's one thing I think I'd say to a parent. I'm a parent myself, so I don't say this lightly. So one thing I wish that students would know, that your youth matters, and it is not something you should take for granted. It is not something you should waste. And that while there's a saying that YOLO, you live only once, it's important to note that yes, it is once, so take it seriously, you know. You don't get to do a do-over. You got to do it right. And you have a chance to do it. It's not too early to get serious about your life. I think that's something I want students to know. If you don't take yourself seriously, nobody will. You know, independence comes with responsibility. You can't pick one and leave the other. So just be passionate about developing both. And also that if you can put your heart into it and the hard work that goes with it, you will do well in your field of choice.
Who inspires you as a teacher?
So who inspires me as a teacher? I have several mentors. They may not be in the teaching profession per se, but they are teachers, they are trainers. I'll mention a couple. One is Bishop David Oyedepo, because he owns the leading private university, Covenant University in Nigeria, and is competing very well, even globally. And so his teachings really, really do inspire me. I love the level of discipline that's there in Covenant University. They are not afraid to take a stand about certain standards. They are raising Gen Zs just like us, but they're not bending anything to accommodate that. And when you see the alumni that come out of Covenant University, they are noteworthy.
What kind of impact do you hope to leave on your students?
Impact. The impact I want to leave on my students, there's so much I could say. But in recent times, I've been sharing them with, asking them to do 3 things as they got into the world. Number 1, I want them to stay hungry. I don't want them to arrive before they've arrived. You know, the world we're living in now, with the advancement of technology, none of us can be comfortable and just sit back and not have the hunger to keep learning. I want them to know that they have just started. You know, the learning doesn't end with that diploma or degree. You need to go out there and stay hungry for more. You know, there is more. And if you're hungry, you will find it. I tell people that if you are hungry, you will not lack a teacher. If you're teachable, there'll be somebody to teach you. And it may not be in a classroom, but there'll be somebody to hold your hand, to show you what you do not know. So stay hungry. The other thing I say to them is stay humble, because God gives grace to the humble, but he resists the proud. And if you go out there and you're arrogant because of one little thing you know, because little knowledge is dangerous because it comes with pride, you may miss out on the 100 other things you don't know. So humility is important. Humility, though, is not timidity. We're not saying be timid and don't give your views. No, in fact, we train the opposite. But I want you to stay humble. Humble enough to keep learning, humble enough to be accountable, humble enough to say I'm sorry when you're wrong, humble enough to say I don't know when you don't, and humble enough to be confident enough to say I'm also good at this, I can share this with you, I can do this. And finally, I like to tell them to stay hopeful. The world has become a very cruel, cold place, but within it, there are still amazing, beautiful things happening. I don't want my students to be jaded. I don't want them to lose hope, because as long as you have hope, there is hope. You know, they say there is hope for a tree even when it's cut down. A little shoot can come up. So as long as you don't give up hope, there is hope. I never want to hear any of my students have been swallowed up by despair, which is so easy to do in the world we're living in today. So the impact I want to leave is that they'll be resilient. They'll be able to pursue their dreams, even in a world that doesn't seem to understand them. I want them to know that there's somebody who cares, and not just me. I know me and most of my colleagues do, actually not most, all care. I want them to pursue those dreams they have, that passion they have, and tell our African story, you know, through their lenses. But tell it in a beautiful way, tell it accurately, the good, the bad, the ugly, and also have their integrity intact. that is important. So anyone that has passed through my hands, that's what I hope they're doing. Know they're precious and they're not for sale. Their gifts are for sale, their talent, their skills, but not them.